Need calm? Yeah, me too. And that's why I'm here, brush in hand. This video is that deep breath that you clicked for. We're painting our way back to calm together, starting right now. Hi, I'm Chantel, an artist, recovering perfectionist, and someone who used to think calm only came after crushing your to-do list. And spoiler, it never did. I burned out hard. My mind felt like 100 browser tabs screaming all at once, until I discovered something almost too simple. Putting color on a page, not just for any project, but just for me, just for the quiet. But there's one thing that I couldn't figure out. Why did putting paint on paper ground me faster than meditation? How did this simple act become my lifeline? And that's the journey today. Not just watching paint dry, but uncovering why it rewires your nervous system and how you can tap into it anytime. No skills needed, just willingness and color. Now, this isn't just generic art therapy. This is my raw toolkit for just keeping me calm and stopping me from having sleepless nights. You'll see my illustrations are proof that calm can be created in any stroke. Are you ready to find your quiet? Because that's what we're exploring in this video. So right now, I'm simply just exploring different shapes, different colors, and mixing mediums. And that's what I want you to do as well. Just mix mediums, play, have fun with any scrap of paper or in your sketchbook. I've just added the colors that felt good to this page, and now I'm just adding that design back in so that they're just not blobs in the page. And you can see that I'm transforming these blobs and making them into real something that looks a little bit more tangible. But the thing is that it's not important about what I'm drawing right now. What's important is how I feel and whether or not it's relaxing. And doing something like blobs of paint, waiting for it to dry and drawing in the detail afterwards can be very meditative. So this can be a really great practice, something for you to try. And I think that the visual result can be pleasing as well. It's one of my cheat codes to creating something that's quite beautiful. Cheat code to giving just blobs and making it into something that's super special. I like to do this by just adding a scribbly line, so you can see I'm being very rough. It's not really detailed, but I'm adding shape, and by adding those shapes you can start to make out and start to see what these flowers actually are. You can see they're coming through as flowers and I'm shaping them from blobs. So I'm just adding some little indentations on these little crosses, just like the little indentations that you'd see on flower petals. And they don't need to be super detailed, just those little markings. Just let the brain know what we're looking at, and it makes it identifiable as a flower. And the more you add to it, the more you're able to see the shapes come through and see the final flowers start to come through. So now I'm taking a different color, and I've decided to pick a darker color to go around the outside. So you can see I'm just dotting in the middles and just adding that extra little bit of color in the center. I can't remember what that's called in the center of a flower. I should really research it and learn what it's called. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. But I just put that little center part of the flower, and now I'm outlining the flower, and I'm doing it really messily. This is great because it helps you to relax and stay calm. You don't have to be too perfect with it, and I also think it gives it quite a whimsical style when you have a flower where some of it is within the line and some of it is outside of it. So you got a little bit of the white paper in the background as well as some of the color. And now I'm using some markers to add in these flower details. So I'm really going mixed media, and I think that is the biggest secret to not only relaxing and having fun with your art, but also it's the biggest secret to actually giving your art that very whimsical, loose, sort of, I like to call it childlike feel. I feel like it could almost just be in a children's book illustrations, and it gives you that lovely whimsical look that you're looking for. So highly recommend trying this out, mixing your mediums, mixing your styles to see what you can come up with, and to see how relaxing it could be just to flow on your page. So now I'm just adding the green for the stems. I've gone back to markers because it feels good to me. You could do this with pencil, you could do this with more watercolor. It's really up to you, and I'm just going with what feels good in the moment. And I'm adding them in. I'm just making sure that none of the flowers are floating in mid-air, and I'm just trying to make sure they're all joining up so that they look like they're coming from one place and they are formed and showing that they are added and coming from the ground up. So I'm just adding extra petals, I'm adding the leaves as well, and just adding those details and just going in and seeing where I'd like different pieces to be. Just being very loose with it, not trying to be perfect, and giving it that whimsical look and having that true relaxation. And this is perfect if you want to feel that calm and you want to de-stress. And this is how I started. I started showing up just 5 minutes with a pencil or with a mix of colors. And then I spent hours blending different colors and just not letting my inner critic win, and not letting myself think that it looks stupid or like it looks like kids' art. I know that stress can scream in your mind, but learn to talk back to it with curiosity and say, okay, maybe it looks like kids' art, so what? And just give your feelings shape on paper. It really helps to disarm those feelings. It's not you anymore, you're just observing things. Now, if you're wondering how to actually start translating your feelings into color or into art when you're feeling overwhelmed, I've got you. Click the link below for my free 7-day creative reset challenge. It walks you through daily grounding exercises, and it helps you to get into an art practice and transform your stress into tangible art. Even if you've only got 10 minutes, it's seriously game changing when you're stuck in that frantic headspace. So you can really see how the pencils really help to shape the marker, and you can just keep layering different materials until you get the result you want. Now I'm moving on to another sketch. People have always been really tricky for me. I've always struggled with them. So trying to draw a person in a really loose way just really helps me to let go of that perfectionism and just approach it from a learner's mind, and just approaching how I want to, just really just relaxing into it and not overthinking the features or whether or not it looks realistic or not, or whether or not it is the way it looks in reality. So I'm just diving deep and just adding color. I did lay a sketch underneath first to give me a guideline, but I'm just following that quite loosely. I found focusing on physical sensations has changed everything. Like really focusing on the brush gliding across the paper, whether or not the paper is rough or smooth, whether it's grabbing the pigment, watching different colors bleeding to each other. This really drops you into your body and into now and into the moment, and you have mindfulness without the pressure to clear your mind. You let your busy mind watch the paint dry. Literally, it works. And from doing this, I learned that colors became my language. And when I had negative thoughts, I'd ask myself, what color is peace today? Is it soft lavender? Is it nurturing green? There's no right answers. It's just a feeling. Choosing a color became like self-care. And these paintings became maps of my inner world, proof that I'd shown up. And that overwhelmed artist still visits me sometimes, but now I have a toolkit. 5 minutes a day with multiple mediums, maybe crayon, resets me faster than an hour of scrolling on social media. Calm isn't the finish line, it's a practice woven into the messy middle, your anchor. So why does this work? Sensory grounding, play, letting the process be the point. That ugly blotch is not failure. It's homing, it's humbling, and calm is something that we actively create. Layer by layer, choice by choice, your brush, your color, your breath, your messy. Now, you might be thinking, how do I keep this calm practice alive beyond today? That's exactly why I'd love you to join my Ko-fi community. When you become a member, you get monthly creative challenge kits with guided prompts and reference photos, step-by-step tutorials for turning stress into art, exclusive printable coloring pages, plus you'll get behind the scene peeks of my sketchbook, lots of support, and even surprise goodies. So grab anything you want and make sure that you join up my Ko-fi membership because you don't want to miss out on it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you for painting with me in this quiet space. Your sanctuary is always just one brush stroke away, and keep creating your calm art